Hi, everybody. Welcome to Andrews High Schools as it's time for Maroon Devil football right here on the Maroon Devils Network. Gary Ayers along with Toby Burrell here on a beautiful Friday night as we look out over this Andrews Valley here, Toby, at the mountains. The sun is setting. Our Maroon Devils are ready to go, and Steve Moon is not with us tonight, but we're here for a big football game, and as you know, Andrews struggling this year, but it's still a conference game, and it's still big.
Well, it is, Gary, and we're going to miss Steve tonight, but we kind of small quarters over here, so we went with the skeleton crew, and I'll help you out for the pregame here, and then you're on your own, my friend.
that is flying solo.
Yeah, you're on your own.
But here tonight, Toby, again, the weather, beautiful, not a factor as far as any kind of rain or any kind of conditions like that. Andrews coming in 1-7 overall, still looking for that first conference win. Ironically, last year, Andrews 3-3 in the Smoky Mountain Conference, and they really thought in the preseason this year they were going to kind of make that next leap and join the big three, if you will, in the Smoky Mountain Conference, being Swain, Robbinsville, and Murphy. But it just hasn't worked this year for the Wildcats the way they thought it would. But still, some good size along the offensive front, some good skilled people, quarterback who is very talented. So they have some good football players out here.
Well, you know, Coach Blankenship and the piece that Aaron Jenkins did with him on the pregame, he was very impressed with them offensively. He talked about them having 4 red zone opportunities against Murphy, but turnovers were the big key for the Cats, and if they can hang on to the football, they can move it quite effectively, and that was a concern of his. And of course, you know, Gary, the big key for the Maroon Devils will be the same as it was against the Braves last week, is our offense controlling the time of possession and keeping the Wildcat offense on the sidelines.
I think you're exactly right, Toby, and we did that pretty well against Cherokee. For example, the opening drive, as you know, we went right down the field, kept the ball away from the Braves, and scored. And I hope we can kind of set that tone and dominate the time of possession here tonight.
Well, another thing that Aaron got out of the interview with Coach Blankenship earlier was the red zone. He and I'm sure Coach Jeff Moore, offensive coordinator, not at all happy with the red zone production. They wanted to be a little better at finishing drives when they got them started like that. So that was a stress this week, and we'll see if that pays dividends for the Maroon Devils here tonight, who, you know, it's going to be a little bit of a storyline going into this, Gary, that injuries have played a big factor this week. And we're going to see probably a pair of new running backs in the backfield for Maroon Devils just to get Taylor and Spencer on the defensive side of the ball.
You're right, and I think you're right. We have a lot of depth at running back. We're kind of blessed in that position this year. But defensively, I think we've always kind of hung our hat on defense, and I think that has been our mainstay again this year as we're almost ready for the opening coin toss here tonight at Andrews High School. But I trust our Maroon Devils are not looking ahead to that homecoming big game next week with Rosman on senior night, and even further down the road with the Murphy Bulldogs in a couple of weeks, because Andrews is good enough to really be one of those trap games, as we like to call them.
Well, you know, talking about making the jump, it looks like Cherokee and Rosman are the two teams who have made that jump from the lower tier to the at least middle to upper tier. Hayesville's had a hard time this year. Andrews has struggled a little bit, but, you know, a win here tonight solves a lot of those problems for the Wildcats.
Oh, no doubt about it. They would love to pull the upset here tonight and really kind of dash our hopes of finishing strong here at the end of this 2014 football season, as most of the rest of the Maroon Devils are coming out on the field to join our captains here tonight. Of course, our captains, as we look out there, we see Taylor Oros, one of those. Along with him is going to be big number 73, Kanan Sellers, one of our seniors. Also out there, looks like, is that Holden Petty out there? Is that 85? Can't tell from this angle. But as they turn sideways, that's 25. I'm sorry, Jordan Cody, not 85. Jordan Cody out there with our captains, as now they're ready to leave the field. Spencer McCoy, of course, one of our captains as always, as they join the rest of their teammates down in the end zone coming off the field. And Toby, I think you're right. We see Spencer kind of jump up in the air and give each other some chest bumping activity. So maybe he's ready to go somewhat tonight. We're going to find out.
Yeah, that's the key is how much and if he and Taylor can go and how much they can go and just use them on one side of the ball. And Derek Fortner is going to get some carries in there tonight, and Miller's going to get some carries in there tonight. You know, he was a breakout performer last week. We really felt in the pregame show Chris Miller with his performance against the Braves last week running the football. So that takes a little bit of the pressure off the offense, not knowing that you don't have to have those big guns in there every single down, that you've got some people who can do the job.
And he really can. Chris Miller, a different kind of running back than we see with Taylor Oros and Spencer McCoy, or even Derek Fortner, for example. He's smaller and quicker. As we get ready to take on the Andrews Wildcats here tonight, we want to remind everybody, Toby, that if you hear a lot of noise, we're literally located right behind one of the public address speakers. So if you hear some big noise, it's literally less than probably 3 feet away from where we are.
It's not you this time.
It's not me. And another thing we want to pass on, if the internet drops out from time to time, our internet signal here is a little bit spotty, if you will, and we want to just alert and warn our listeners and viewers here tonight that if the internet drops out, we apologize, because that could happen from time to time. As anybody who has ever lived in the mountains here in western North Carolina understands, internet signals, cell phone signals, we all understand they can literally come and go almost with a leaf blowing off the tree over there. and so we may see some of that here tonight.
Well, it's a cool, crisp night, and I don't know how much that has to do with it, but it's definitely the coolest night of the year for the Maroon Devils.
And we're ready to go here, fans, as the Wildcats will kick it off. And booting it is going to be Stuart Close as he kicks it way down in the corner. And picking it up at the 2-yard line is going to be Jordan Cody at the 10. Back out to the 15. And Jordan Cody with such quick feet and a very good return from a kick that was literally kicked totally away from him. And doing a good job bringing that kick back out to decent field position here. And once again, we'll be talking to Toby Burrow a little bit later on here as we go along in the first quarter. He's going to be keeping all the stats, as again, we're kind of jammed in here on a very tight press box. So Steve Moon has graciously stepped aside so we can all kind of get in here. Toby will have the stats. Joe Holt literally right beside us with the cameraman. And of course, all our coaches in the press box all here in the same room with us. Pass down the field. Open is Jordan. And he looks over his shoulder. And I think he's got it at the Andrews 45-yard line. What a throw and what a catch down the field, literally over his shoulder. Jordan Cody kind of looking up almost into the lights and just made a great catch down to the Andrews 45-yard line. Big play on first down. They're going to spot it at the 46-yard line with a 1st and 10. But what a shot down the field on first down to loosen up this defense. What a pass from Kobe Stevenson as well to find Jordan Cody with a step on his man. 1st and 10. Andrews showing blitz. Here they come. We run to the left side and all the way to the 40. Inside the 35-yard line is going to be the quick feet of Chris Miller. And Chris is so deceptive with his quick feet. He's not a big guy, as we mentioned. Chris, 5'6", 145 pounds, only a sophomore, but he kind of almost glides the way he runs, and he's deceptively quick in picking up that first down.
The Stevenson to Cody pass covered 36 yards, Gary, and then that was an 11-yard gain by Chris on his first touch. So good movement by the Maroon Devil offense here early on.
Wow, 47 yards on 2 plays. Here comes Chris again. He's hit, runs into his own guy, and that really slowed his momentum, and he's going to be knocked down at the 35-yard line for no gain on first down. And coming up, one of the big guys, Willie Parker, and he is a big kid. They have some big guys up front as you look across their defense and offensive lines.
That was an issue Coach Blankenship touched on, too, is that they were good and big and talented up front with their offensive and defensive fronts.
And Toby, you're right. They go 250, 270, 280. They have some big guys up front. This time around the right side, down to the 31-yard line after taking the handoff from Kobe Stevenson. And at quarterback here for the Maroon Devils is going to be Derek Fortner for a gain of 4 at the 31. That's going to bring it 3rd down and about 6 now here in the early going in the first quarter. 10-18 to play, first quarter. Let's see if we can keep this drive alive. Kobe Tuanita coming wide left along with Jordan Cody. Everybody else in tight. And we toss to the left side. Miller trying to turn the corner and does. Has the first down out to the 20. Knocked out of bounds near the 17-yard line. What a good run by Chris Miller. And again, he just doesn't look that fast coming out of the backfield, and all of a sudden, bang, he turns the corner and picks up a bunch of yards. All the way down. They're going to spot it now at the 16-yard line. 1st and 10, Maroon Machine.
Well, that was a gain of 15 right there, and it's that play has been very successful for Chris over the last couple of games, getting outside and just finding that seam to run in that the receivers do a real good job blocking.
Lining up on the right side now, strong side right. This time we try to run to the right side, but Derek Fortner has nowhere to go. He took the handoff, and he is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Again, Willie Parker is in there. And again, he's a big nose tackle. He's a junior. He's the second leading tackler on this team with 46 tackles on the season, and also plays center on the offensive line. And he's maybe 5'8", but he goes about 260, and he is a spark plug in the middle. Big guy, hard to move. Can't get a lot of leverage on him because, again, not a real tall guy. We run to the left side this time, down to about the 10-yard line. Nice gain on the play this time by Chris Miller. Got us spotted at about the 10, maybe a little shy of the 10-yard line. We'll say the 11. So now we're going to need about, still about 5 more yards. Still need about 5. Third down, 9 minutes to play. First quarter, no score. Our opening drive.
7 plays, 71 yards. Just what the doctor ordered to open the football game up for the Maroon Devils if they can finish it off. Red zone finishing was a key.
Got a fumble on the snap, and I think Kobe got it back luckily. And, boy, that was dangerous, Toby, because, again, Big Willie Parker was right there, and I thought he was going to pounce on the ball before we got it back. And again, as you mentioned, Toby, we have 8:35 to play. Now a fourth down. Let's see if we can get some points out of this. Coming on is Angel Bowers to join the offense. And I was looking to see if we're going to see Cooper Reinert out there. And nope, we're going to line up and go for it.
I think it's a spread set with a shotgun, one back.
4 wides here. Fourth down. Kobe looking, firing, timing pattern, end zone, and nobody could get to it. Kind of threw it between 2 wide receivers. Kobe and Jordan were down there, but it didn't make connection. So on a fourth down, we use up 4 minutes on the opening drive, but no points. It's Andrews football now at the 11-yard line. So again, Andrews has a long way to go, 89 yards away from the end zone. And Toby Burrell, you're going to have a fun time because with the angle of this press box, you're not going to be able to see anything that goes left.
No. We said we got to get our coaches to run right so we can see, but we didn't get that memo to them.
Okay, here we go. Andrews misdirection handoff, and they run to the left side, and they get a couple of yards out to about the 14-yard line before they're gang tackled out there. Kanan Sellers over there, along with Johnny Woodard and company on the stop. Also, Corbin Wildcat coming up to help on the tackle. Second down and about 7. Ball just shy of the 15-yard line. Again, 7:40 to play. First quarter. Beautiful night for high school football here in Andrews, North Carolina, here in this beautiful valley. Big hole on the right side, leading the blocking out there for the Wildcats was a big hole over there by Isaac Cunningham, a big 270-pound guard leading the charge. Nice hole to run through, but only about 3 yards gained on the play as we plug the hole in a hurry. Third down. Andrew's still going to need about 4, almost 5 yards to go here with 7 minutes to play in the first quarter. And again, thanks for tuning in. I know it's also Game 3 of the World Series. They're playing out in San Francisco tonight, so a lot going on in the wide world of sports. Handoff left side, and bang, there's nothing there. The Maroon Devils just jammed up the line of scrimmage. Leading the way in there to plug it is Johnny Woodard again, Kanan Sellers again. And also over there is one of our leading tackler. Well, Cody looks like, Ross Ensley, as I thought, our leading tackler this year for the Maroon Devils on the season. Ross having a good year, 74 tackles, and Andrews is going to have to punt. And Jordan Cody back at the 42-yard line. Good snap. They're going to angle it toward the sideline, and this is going to be a terrible punt for the Andrews Wildcats. It's going to be blown inside the 35-yard line. They're going to walk it up at the 32, and the Maroon Devils are going to have outstanding field position here with 6:17 to play in the first quarter. And Toby Burrell, as you can see from the stats, the Maroon Devils no points on the scoreboard right now, but dominating the early offensive stats.
Well, and that's that key that we talked about before, is that finishing in the red zone. And I'm sure Coach Marr and Coach Blankenship not very happy with that first drive and 0 points to show for it.
So now here we go. Kobe Stevenson back to throw, fires. Oh, over the middle, almost intercepted. Jordan Cody had to play defense on that one, as coming up and getting his hands on the football is going to be Jacob Moore. And he's a guy you don't want to throw to because he has good hands, because he's their quarterback on offense. Jacob Moore, a 3-year starter, who's also playing some defense this year for the Wildcats as kind of their last stand safety back there in the defensive secondary. 6:12 to play, first quarter, no score yet. Maroon Devils one man in the backfield. Got Kobe Toynita in motion, and we've got a penalty flag, and we're going to get charged with illegal motion on that call. So the first penalty of the ball game is going to be 5 against the Maroon Devils, spotting it back at the 37-yard line. And don't forget, friends, our lady volleyball team, Road Warriors, going to be on the road tomorrow. Lincoln Charter down in Denver, North Carolina, about 3 hours and 20 minutes away. Our Lady Devils had a huge win as they went to Meisenheimer. I'd never heard of that before until Toby Burrell told me about it, as we won a 3-0 win to advance to the Final Four in the West, where we'll face Lincoln Charter tomorrow at 5 at Lincoln Charter High School. Long road trip. By the way, Belmont Abbey has received a verbal commitment from Swain High senior Lydia Sale, who had 21 kills in the win, and only a 3-game set to pace the Lady Devils to their win over Greystone. And Toby, as you know, it's always great when we can get our athletes in at the next level.
Well, it sure is, and Lydia had a great game last night, and just those 3 sets with 21 kills. That was a fantastic night, and the Lady Devils play extremely well, and they've got their work cut out for them again tomorrow.
So now third down, Kobe back to throw. Third down, we need 12. He steps up, he's hit. He bounces away. Can't find anybody open. Now fires down the middle of the field, and it's just too much. Getting a hand on it, and that's all, was Christian Norton. But he was running to his left, trying to turn and throw back to his right, which is so hard to do for a quarterback. And on fourth down, we're going to have to boot the ball back to Andrews now on fourth down and 12 with 5:22 to play in the first quarter, and no score here from Andrews. Yeah, I want to thank Joe Holt for an outstanding camera job, as sometimes his angle is not always the most camera conducive, if you will. Jordan Cody back to punt, low snap, scoops it up, kicks it high, doesn't have to kick it very deep, plenty of hang time, down inside the 10, good bounce, and down there is good coverage by Kobe Toynita to watch it blown dead between the 7 and 8 yard line. So we again pin Andrews deep in their own territory. And let's see if we can hold Andrews again. And Andrews giving us a lot of grief in our backfield, as Kobe Stevenson having to run for his life on that last play. And Toby, again, Andrews only their second drive of the night. Last time, not very successful for the Wildcats on offense.
Well, they got about 7 yards on 3 plays running the football last time. We'll see if the Marine Devil defense can do the same.
From the shotgun, they turn and hand off. Nice run to the left side over there, this time by Jacob Whitaker. And so that's going to be a nice run. Check that, Dylan Ward, number 9 on the carry. And he's also one of their best defenders. Dylan Ward is their leading tackler on offense with 57 tackles on the season. Ball spotted at about the 12, almost 13-yard line. Second down now, and we'll call it about 5. 4:45 to play, first quarter. Glad to have you listening and viewing on the Maroon Devils Network. They fake the handoff both ways. Quarterback is going to keep it all the way, 15 out to the 18-yard line. That's going to be very close to a first down before Ross Hensley comes up to make the tackle on their quarterback. Jacob Moore, as we mentioned, very experienced, a 3-year starter, very quick feet. And he's also a good runner. He has 382 yards rushing. Ironically, he had 1 more yard rushing this year than passing coming into this ball game. 382 rushing, 381 passing. And how does that happen, Toby? That's a weird stat.
He picked up 7 on that run for the Wildcats' first down of the night.
So first down, Wildcats out there, 19-yard line, 4:05 and counting, no score yet. And the shotgun, they'll hand off and run straight ahead again. And a nice run straight ahead by Douglas Ball. Douglas Ball, 415 yards rushing this year for the Wildcats. And that was close to a 10-yard gain. A little over 9-yard gain there for the Wildcats. So now they're going to bring on the chains to measure, and depending on where they spot the football, it might be close. But again, Toby would like to remind everybody, besides volleyball tomorrow on the road down at Lincoln Charter, cross-country teams will run in the Western Regional Championships tomorrow. Even though we're the host, it's going to be over at Asheville Christian Academy in Swannanoa.
Yeah, and that'll be a big day for 1A athletes from all over Western North Carolina competing in that Western Regional Championship there. And wish all of those folks the very best of luck, and hope everything works out well for everybody in that one. And so big day all the way around for the Maroon Nation this weekend with cross country and with volleyball going on tomorrow. Both crucial playoff games, if you will, for cross country in terms of winners of that or people who place high enough advance on to state, and that
right
top 4 will go on to state. And of course a team will be looking to go as well. So a lot on the line tomorrow. We wish everybody the very best.
Then we find out on Monday the soccer playoff pairings are going to be released on Monday, and we hope that works out well also for the Maroon Devils soccer team. 3.5 minutes to play, first quarter, handoff left side, and there is just nowhere to go. They needed less than a foot for a first down, and I think they might have lost a foot on this carry, so this is not enough for a first down, I don't think.
No gaining of third and less than yard.
Well,
12 on the tackle.
Yep, it's going to bring up still third down and less than a yard to go for Andrews. As the quarterback, Jacob Moore, gets the play call from the sideline. Now the Maroon Devils, let's see if we can hold him here and get the ball back. Got 2 wides to the left side, 2 backs in the backfield. Along with Moore, he hands off, they run to the right side, and they get the first down out across the 30-yard line. No question about it this time. Don't have to measure. Coming up to help out on the tackle is going to be Craig Cutshaw. Also in there is going to be J.T. Langston to help on the tackle as Kaden Sellers comes back in the ball game for J.T. So they have knocked out a couple of first downs on this drive. The Wildcats have their best field position of the night at their 31-yard line with 2:45 to play in the first quarter. No score for either team yet. Our Maroon Devils coming in, as you know, 6-2 overall, 2-1 in the conference. And Moore hits his guy on the helmet. And the running back, luckily enough, picks it up. It's going to be Douglas Ball. He tossed it out with his left hand, and it literally hit his running back, Douglas Ball, in the face mask. And I haven't seen that much lately. The ball fell to the ground, but Douglas Ball, quick enough and had enough composure about him to pick the ball up and hang in there, and instead of probably a 5-yard loss, cuts it to about a 2-yard loss. So we'll call it second down at about 12. But that one could have been disastrous for Andrews and really big for the Maroon Devils, but no turnover. Andrews has suffered with turnovers this year. From the shotgun, Moore back to fire, got his man, and he drops it at the 44-yard line right through the hands of number 20, James Hook, who's a big 230-pounder, but catchable pass not caught. It's going to bring up third down and 12. It looks like another passing situation for Jacob Moore and the Wildcats.
Well, up until then, Gary, they'd run 9 plays all on the ground tonight, their first pass of the night. So 10 plays in now, and 29 yards for the Wildcats, 39 for the Devils on the ground. The Maroon Devils had the 36-yard hookup to Jordan Cody.
So now let's see what the Wildcats do. They fake the handoff, play action, looking to the right, firing in traffic. It's going to be intercepted. Bringing it back is Angel Bowers at the 10, at the 5, and he's in. Angel Bowers, touchdown. Maroon Devils, there's no penalty flag. So Angel Bowers steps in front of the Wildcat pass and brings it back over 30 yards or so on the return. And the Maroon Devils are on the scoreboard with the defense providing the points. What a play by Angel Bowers. He saw that coming, read it all the way, stepped right in front of the pass, right in front of the receiver, and brought it all the way back to the house. And now for the PAT is going to be Cooper Reiner. So what a great play by Angel Bowers with the 6 points.
36 yards on that interception. Good job by Angel reading that.
And Reinert with the PAT after the 36-yard TD pick. And the Maroon Devils take the early lead here late in the first quarter with 1:42 to play. We'll be back in just a moment on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back. Andrews High School, the spot as Cooper Reinert will kick it toward the right sideline. Going to be taken at the 35 and brought back by the 39 by the Wildcats on the return. And it's going to be, looks like number 7, Derek Bateman on the return. And right now, the Wildcats with their best field position of the night, just shy of the 40-yard line here, where they'll take over on offense. But again, defense gets it done. 36-yard pick six for Angel Bowers. And Toby Burrell, we have depended on our defense so many times through the years, so nothing new there, I don't think.
Well, no issues in the red zone that time.
Right. So now the Wildcats are going to spot it right on the 40. First down and 10. They run out of the shotgun as they have all night. And they turn and hand off. Running to the right side. Quick running back into the secondary. And dragging it down from behind is going to be Spencer McCoy. But wow, that was maybe a touchdown saving tackle. Dylan Ward just popped into the secondary. And he runs so quick. I'm afraid if Spencer McCoy hadn't got him, he might have broke that for a whole lot more. A dangerous play as he cut back against the grain, and Spencer actually caught him from behind.
14-yard gain on that one, and it saved a longer gain than that, about 60 yards, because he was headed to the house.
Toby, I think you're right. Now they run to the left side this time, and they have a bevy of running backs. This time they run to the left side.
Number 59 on the tackle.
They have some folks not on the roster. I'm guessing that may be Jacob Payne on the carry for the Wildcats, as their numbers don't match some of those on the roster. Second down and 9, only a 1-yard gain.
46-yard line.
Don't forget now, fans, we close out the home portion of our regular season schedule. Next Friday, we return home for our final home game against the Rosman Tigers. Pre-game show with Toby and Tom should get underway a little before 7 next week. Wildcats swing it out to the right side. Going to be complete at the 45, but there is a nice hit coming up. Is 52, Ross Inslee, and he just manhandled him. Good play again by Inslee, our leading tackler coming into this game. Taylor Orris, right behind him on that tackle chart, is playing on defense tonight. And Toby, it's good to see Spencer and Taylor playing some tonight, even though they're not 100% by any stretch, as they both have their right biceps taped up pretty heavily.
Well, we're to the end of this first quarter play, and the Maroon Devils are going to finish it with a 7-0 lead coming into it, but only 2 possessions offensively, Gary, and that's got to be an area of concern for Coach Jeff Marr on the offensive side of things. But the defense has been up to the challenge in keeping this high-powered Wildcat offense from being able to move the football at will.
No doubt about it, fans. 1 quarter gone, 7-0. Maroon Devils on top. Stay with us. We'll be back after this timeout on the Maroon Devils Network. Back live here from Andrews High School on the Maroon Devils Network. 7-0 Swain High lead over the Wildcats now, as the Wildcats are looking at rolling to the left side. They try a little shovel pass that never made connection, as Ross Inslee had the quarterback in his sights. Jacob Moore just tried to basically get rid of it, and his little shovel pass move didn't produce a thing. So it's going to bring up a 4th down now, and the Wildcats at the 45-yard line of Swain High will need about 8 yards here.
I believe they're going to punt, Gary, and try to pin the Maroon Devils back deep. Jordan Cody and Kobe Tornado will be back to receive.
And it's kind of funny, Toby, right now it's almost a battle of field position to see who can flip the field better.
It is, really, and Andrews has succeeded in doing that if they're able to get this punt off, and Jordan Cody doesn't come up with a big return.
So now it's going to be angled basically toward the sideline, out of bounds, over on the track. And it's going to give us pretty good field position. It's got to be around the 35, and that's where the 25, rather. And they're going to spot it at the 25-yard line. No return, first down and 10. So you can see, Toby, Andrews not going to be punting it to Jordan Cody, it looks like, as they punted it out of bounds now twice.
Yeah, they're not going to give him a chance for a big return. They'll take a short punt over him returning the football, it looks like.
And I'm honestly can't blame him.
Taylor Orris in the backfield now, Gary.
So Taylor going to get a chance to run the football, and actually we pick it up in the backfield. Had a little trouble on the snap on that one. So it went rolling back, and luckily Chris Miller picked it up and tried to limit the damage. And we make it back just shy of the original line of scrimmage at the 25-yard line. Might have lost a foot or two, or not much. So right now, the Maroon Devils, Jordan Cody wide left, Kobe Tornado wide to the right side. And again, Taylor Oros lining up back there. He's going to block. Left side, Trent Wright airs it out, and Jordan Cody got spun around at the 40-yard line. Pass a little too tall over there, going out of bounds. But good-looking pass over there by Trent Wright. But Jordan Cody, again, kind of spun his body around, and not a chance on that one. So now that'll stop the clock with 11 minutes to play, 11:08 actually in the second quarter, as we lead 7-0 over the Wildcats with their red jerseys, white pants, and our Maroon Devils in the all-white. Four-man front now for the Wildcats. Here they come with a linebacker blitzing. Trent has to get it away, and that kind of upset his timing. Trent was knocked down on the play as he tried to get it away over there to Taylor Oros, and that blitz was coming from number 5, Jacob Whitaker, and we just didn't have much time to throw the ball at all.
Well, they had a screen pass set up over there, Gary, but Trent had to hurry his throw a little bit too much to be able to lead Taylor with that, and falls incomplete. Now the battle of field positions, as you said, continues.
Now Jordan Cody on to punt. Good snap. Line drive punt is going to angle toward the sideline and will probably go out of bounds. Over at the 35-yard line is where Andrews will take over first and 10 now with 10:54 to play in the second quarter, and the Maroon Devils up 7-0. So we haven't seen many big play special teams opportunities, if you will, because the kickoffs have been relatively short and the punts have been going out of bounds. And so Toby, no special teams work.
It's basically the kind of kicks that only a special teams coordinator can love. There's nothing real pretty about them, but they're effective.
They work, don't they? They keep the big play from being a part of the football game. And the way this one's going, it's been a battle of field position. The defenses have dominated, as neither offense has really been able to get on track here tonight. This time the quarterback will hand off to the left side, and he barely got the handoff over to Douglas Ball. And he almost had the ball on his left hip as he was hit at the line of scrimmage. A lot of guys up there. Johnny Woodard, Taylor Oros, also in there, big Cameron Chambers. So a lot of guys coming up to hit the running back, who was lucky to hang on to that football.
No gain on the play.
So a second down and 10.
And the Maroon Devils have 75 yards, the Wildcats 45 yards in this contest so far, with the majority of Swain's coming on the 36-yard completion from Stevenson to Cody.
Draw play here by the Wildcats, and blowing it up over there, we had, again, Ross Ensley and big Kanan Sellers coming from the backside, and that play didn't have much of a chance. And Toby, you're right. The only score on the scoreboard, a 36-yard pick six by Angel Bowers with 9:50 to play in the first half. The only score by either team.
Yeah, and if you like I say, if you take away the long completion from Stevenson to Cody, the offenses are pretty much dead even in terms of what they've been able to produce.
And this Andrews offense, from what we've seen in the last 2 or 3 years, is pretty effective. They've got some things going on here at Andrews that makes them a better football team. Third down, back to throw, firing down the middle, and it's intercepted. Jordan Cody at the 45, back to the 35, to the 30, 25, 20, down the sideline, and I think he's going to score, and he does. And the second pick six of the night, but there's a flag right at the end of the play that might prevent the touchdown.
Yeah, I think we got might
have had a
clip blocking the back on that.
Oh, man, but what a great run after the catch by Jordan Cody, but I'm afraid it's going to nullify the touchdown. We're still going to get it, I think, and well, now they're going to bring it back. I thought we're going to get it at the 20, so still pretty good field position at the front of the red zone, but what a great run by Jordan Cody. But there's a block in the back on the return. Right at the end of the play, literally.
Yep. So I think it was really an unnecessary penalty too. I think Jordan had the play beat.
I did too. Handing off to the left side. Again, it's going to be Chris Miller. And Jacob Whitaker for Andrews coming up on the tackle for the Wildcats. But almost 2 pick sixes for scores. let's see if we can make this one from the offense. 2nd down and 9 after the 1-yard pickup. From the 19, Taylor Orris in the backfield, along with Chris Miller. And running straight ahead for his first carry tonight is going to be Taylor Orris.
Number 12 on the carry, Taylor
And
Orris.
let's see, they're going to spot the football all the way down at about the 13-yard line. Looks like so. Not a bad run for Taylor. Going to bring up 3rd down and probably a long 2 from this point. Let's see what we can do here. Orris in the backfield along with Miller. Right behind Trent Wright. Andrew showing blitz. Here they come. Trent dropping, throwing down the middle, and he's got his man. Is he in? Yes! Touchdown in the end zone. That looked like Chandler Norton on the receiving end of the touchdown. And Toby, a nice pass from Wright to Norton. Maroon Devils are up 13-0.
Well, that was a well-thrown ball.
It really was. Trent Wright, because actually Norton was pretty well covered down there in the end zone. He had to put it in just the right spot to make that one catchable. Now for the extra point, it's going to be Cooper Reinert, of course. 1 for 1 tonight. Coming on to hole, looks like it's going to be Trey Bradley. Kick is up, has plenty of distance, and it's good. And we go to the timeout with 8:06 to play in the first half. And the Maroon Devils are on the scoreboard on a nice pass from Trent Wright to Chandler Norton. Touchdown, 14-0 Swain. We'll be back on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back. Cooper Reinert ready to kick it off from the 40-yard line for the Maroon Devils. Kicks it high and short. Going to be taken fair catch by an up back at the 29-yard line. So again, Andrews with pretty good field position here to start off on offense. But the defenses have been so pretty much overwhelming here. Gary Ayers along with Toby Burrell tonight, as Steve Moon not with us here tonight. But again, Toby, the defense dictating the tempo here tonight. But we've seen some good-looking plays from the offense, but the defense just not allowing them to happen.
Well, the Maroon Devil defense setting up both scores. That second score set up by the Jordan Cody interception return that was a touchdown nullified by a block in the back, brought it back, and then the nice pass from Trent Wright to Norton.
So now the Wildcats come out of their traditional shotgun. They like to spread it out. Here they run to the right side, out across the 30-yard line.
Number 22,
Spencer McCoy on the tackle, also helping him out over there. It's going to be, looks like 54. I was looking for 64, but it's going to be Caleb Woodard to help out on the tackle. Remember, at home next Friday, Rosman, our last home game. 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to be just down the road here in Cherokee County again with those Murphy Bulldogs. That whole press box may blow up in 2 weeks. Hand off to the left side. This time on the carry is going to be Taylor Parker. I understand, of course, J.R. Carroll is going to be there. Brandon Stevens is going to be there. I'll be there. And there's going to be so much hot air in that press box it may just float away, or if anybody lots of matches, it's going to explode, Toby.
You said it before I could, so.
I thought I'd go ahead and get that out there.
Thanks.
Get it over with. Most of the hot air coming from Brandon and JR. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Of course, they'll get me back with their call of the game in 2 weeks. Rolling, quarterback looking, firing down the middle, got his tight end at the 50 to the 45, all the way to the 43-yard line. A big catch and run by James Hoke, and he's a big target too at 6'2" and 230 pounds. Hoke is a big boy, and this time the quarterback got it to him, Jacob Moore. So at the 43-yard line of Swain High, Andrews making some noise through the air. And I was wondering, Toby, because, they line up and the spread offense, but they run it more than they throw it, which is a little unusual.
Well, that was a 25-yard gain, and so far both teams using the pass to reel off some big gains.
Trying to loosen up the opposing defense with the pass. Oh, they didn't loosen up here at all. Coming up with the initial hit is going to be Johnny Woodard, and then Taylor Orris and Ross Ensley put the finishing touches on Taylor Parker, and he was just hammered into the dirt here. Check that. That was actually up. So they're going to spot it now at the 46-yard line. A loss on the play of 3.
Loss of 4 on the play, 2nd and 14.
But our defense has really been aggressive here tonight, and it's paying off. As you mentioned, Toby, both one of the touchdowns literally run in on the pick six. The other one set up on the interception by Jordan Cody. Here we go, 2 wides for the Wildcats on second down. Handoff again in the backfield, and getting the initial hand on him was Caleb Woodard. He spun him around, and that was enough. As J.T. Langston and Spencer McCoy comes up to finish him off. Leaving the lineup now is going to be Corbin Wildcat. Back in is Isaiah Bradley. And now Andrews looking at third down and still about 12 to go. And the quarterback, Jacob Moore, getting the play in from the sideline. Coming to the left side is going to be Tyler Rose. Bristol Brockwell wide to the right side for the Cats. Split backs, Moore rolling, firing over. Shot his man, who was pretty well covered by Jordan Cody and Taylor Oros down there. He tried to slide it into James Hoke again, the big tight end, but just too high. And they're going to have to punt it away.
Well, he seems to have centered in on Hoke on the majority of his passes, even though Rose is their leading receiver on the year. So they may have seen something in film study that they felt like they could exploit with this Maroon Devil defense.
And Rose, you're right, 13 catches, 182 yards on a touchdown, but they haven't gone to him much tonight. Here comes the punt. Stuart Close angling it away from Jordan Cody. Is going to roll out of bounds at about the 15, 16-yard line, where we'll get the ball back. First down and 10 with 4:50 left to play, 4:58 left to play in the second quarter. So again, the battle of field position continues with the punting game, and punting it away from the opposition's return man, the story of the night, Toby, besides our 2 interceptions.
Well, it remains to be seen if which offense can get some traction here and get something going in a positive direction for themselves.
So now, don't forget now, pregame show next week at 7 o'clock with Toby and Tom and Aaron, and did an outstanding job on this week's show, and we stay on the ground. And not a whole lot on first down. Again, the Wildcats, big defensive line, and Derek Fortner ran into some of those big defensive linemen behind the block of Corbin Wildcat. But size, not a problem for Andrews. They have big receivers. They have big offensive linemen, big defensive linemen. As we mentioned, across the front, they go 210, 250, 270, 280 pounds. There's some big boys. Back to throw. Kobe Stevenson fires. Got his man, Jordan Cody. Quick hitter on the sideline. Breaks the tackle. 30, 35, 40. And he's pushed out of bounds up near the 40-yard line. But if he hadn't stepped out of bounds, he was going to be off to pay dirt, because Jordan Cody has an extra gear that some folks just don't have. And he really turned on the jets once he caught that quick pass on the sideline. And good pass and run after the catch, Toby.
That's one of those trendy things where you throw it out to the receiver and make the corner make a tackle. Yeah. And it's a good play for Jordan and Kobe, both very shifty receivers, tough to bring down in open space.
Jordan Cody, 6 feet, 180 pounds. Oh, we got a fumble on the snap again as Kobe jumps on the football at the 39-yard line. We lose a yard. First, second down on 11 coming up. And a good contingency of Swain High fans here tonight and Andrews, as we have a lot of folks on the fence, a lot of folks in the stands. The pep band is here. And now we're looking at second down from the 39-yard line. On the clock, 3:40 and counting left to play here in the second quarter. We lead 14-0 on the strength of 2 interceptions. Kobe back to throw, fires again left side, right off the arms of Christian Norton, who has had a good year for the Maroon Devils this year. Receiving, Christian Norton is one of our top guys. Has 10 catches on the year, 134 yards. Incomplete, third down. And a long 11, short 12, if you will. But again, Lady Devil volleyball team on the road tomorrow down at Lincoln Charter, about 3 hours and 20 minutes away. And they're going to be playing tomorrow at 5 o'clock from Lincoln Charter. Good luck. Oh, I think Andrew stepped in the neutral zone. Or did we move? No, we moved. A little motion up front. That's going to bring up third down at about 16. So volleyball tomorrow at 5 from Lincoln Charter. Cross country tomorrow at Asheville Christian Academy over in Swannanoa. 11 a.m. for the running for the cross country teams. And Toby, as you know, our girls have had another fantastic cross-country season.
Well, it'd be great to see them bring home a regional title to go with the conference titles tomorrow.
So good luck to all the athletes tomorrow. Back to throw. Kobe Stevenson airs it out. Down the middle, overthrows Jordan Cody, who had a little bit of daylight, but just too much air under the football. And now we're going to have to put it away on 4th down and 16 with 3.5 minutes to play. And again, defense, the story of the night here tonight. Now Jordan Cody is going to be coming on to punt. Andrews will drop back. Dylan Ward. Jacob Payne back there with him. Good snap. Jordan. More of a line drive type punt. And they're going to pick it up at the 25. And, oh, we almost got him back inside the 25-yard line. Down there kind of pounding the ground. Looks like Kobe Toinita, who got a hand on him, but he broke away, but still very little on the return. Good coverage by the Maroon Devils and Kobe Toinita and crew. Andrews will take over now just outside the 20 at the 21-yard line. 1st down and 10. And there's going to be a timeout on the field called by the Andrews Wildcats with a score, Swain 14, Andrews 0. We'll be back after this timeout on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back with 3:19 to play before halftime here on a nice, cool, crisp fall night. 1 week from Halloween exactly, as a matter of fact, coming up next Friday. Hand off a little delayed draw out at the 24-yard line, and that's all. Kanan Sellers knocks down the running back with a little help from Spencer McCoy as Dylan Ward tries to carry. But he runs in. When you run into Kanan Sellers and Spencer McCoy, I don't like the running back's chances at all.
No, you're going to stop in your tracks usually, and that's what happened there.
I mean, Kanan is 6'1", 240. Spencer, 6'2", 215. And they're both very strong young men. Hand off right side again. They run basically to the same place. And still not a whole lot of yards out at the 25-yard line. This time helping out on the stop is going to be Craig Cutshaw. Saw Craig's mom down there and told her, yep, plays a little bit like his dad, Rick Cutshaw, who was also pretty darn good in his day. Rick Cutshaw was an outstanding player for the Maroon Devils way back when.
Hey, easy now.
Oh, sorry. Maybe not that far back.
He's a teammate of mine. He's a young guy.
Just a young guy.
Youngster.
He's a young dad, right?
Yeah.
He had okay, more on that in a minute. Pass down the left side. Good coverage over there for Angel Bowers, who already has a touchdown in his stat book tonight, as he had good coverage over there on Tyler Rose. They finally tried to go to Rose, Toby, but good coverage by Angel.
Yeah, it looked like Angel may have had a better chance of catching that than Rose did, actually. And now back to the punt. The punters have been the busiest people on the field tonight.
You're right. Coming on, Stuart Close, trying to punt it to Jordan Cody. He'd love to get a return, but they haven't allowed him to. They punted it away from him all night. But this one is going to be brought back at the 41-yard line. Cody the 50, 45, 40. Big mistake, punting it to him. Back to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Maroon Devils. That's why you don't punt the ball to Jordan Cody. He brought that one back around 60 yards. And the Maroon Devils are on the scoreboard again. 1:46 to play in the half. And Toby Burrell and I were talking a few minutes ago about the lack of special teams play. Well, that's why they've been punting away from Jordan Cody, and that's why it was a huge mistake to punt it right at Jordan Cody. A line drive, no hang time, and Toby, bang, 6 points.
Yep. An excellent job weaving in and out of traffic, and a good job of blocking over there by the Maroon Devils. You know, one of the key things I noticed on that play was Kobe Toinita was out in front running interference, and he ran right by a kid. I thought, why didn't he block him? But he realized that guy had no chance at Jordan and was going on to the next guy. Well, it was a pretty heady play by Kobe.
That's smart football. And the Maroon Devils now have a nice 21-0 lead just before halftime. We'll be back on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back. Gary Ayers along with Toby Burrell. Steve Moon will be back with us next Friday. Again, we're really in a jam-packed cracker box, press box, if you will. This kickoff is going to be going out of bounds, which will give Andrews good field position again. But, you know, Toby, we were talking earlier, field position a big deal here tonight, but really the defense on either side has been so dominating. It really doesn't matter, it seems, where you get the football because nobody's been able to move it.
That's true. The both teams have been able to flip the field offensively, but they seem to be playing between the 40s offensively. You know,
Yep, you're right. And again, we've had 2 interceptions, one for a 36-yard touchdown return by Angel Bowers. Jordan Cody brought one back for a touchdown, negated by a penalty, but we scored a couple of plays later. That one set up by the defense. And now Jordan Cody, just what we were talking about, brings it all the way back probably 60 yards or so on the punt return. Now we got a penalty flag. This one will try again. Illegal procedure against Andrews this time. Carl Junaluska, the man with a white hat out there leading the official crew tonight. Carl, a friend for many, many years. And the good thing is, well, I guess other than the penalty on our pick 6, penalties have not been a huge factor tonight, Toby, so far.
No, 3 for the Maroon Devils, 1. That's the first of the night for the Wildcats. Only 4 penalties in this game. Pretty cleanly played in terms of those type of miscues.
And off on the right side, again, not much. The Maroon Devil defense dominating. Spencer McCoy coming up over there with Caleb Woodard to stop that one for hardly any gain at all.
They're going to have to figure out a different play to run because our outside linebackers have that play figured out.
Toby, I think you're right. Timeout by the Maroon Devil defense now with 1:38 to play. We'll be back in just a moment here on the Maroon Devils Network. After the Maroon Devils use a timeout to make sure we've got the right defense. Right now looking at 2nd down and 16, the Wildcats are with 1:38 to play before halftime. Maroon Devils looking for another stop here to keep Andrews off the board as, again, Jacob Moore lines up, hands off right side. And again on the carry without a whole lot of room to run, it's going to be Parker.
Timeout, Devils.
And just not much room to run. And right now the Maroon Devils look like, as we'll keep it right here, but it looks like we're using the timeouts, maybe in hopes, Toby, of getting the ball back. We've called 2 in a row now, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down for Andrews with still 1.5 minutes left to play before halftime.
Well, if nothing else, they can, Coach Neil Blankenship and his staff can force Andrews to have to punt the ball to Jordan Cody again.
And that's a play we like.
Yeah, it worked out to our advantage, and if they punt away from him, then it's a good bet it's going to go out of bounds, which will stop the clock and give the Maroon Devil offense a chance to set themselves.
So now the Maroon Devils back on the field as Andrews is looking at 3rd down and still about 15, 16 yards to go. Remember, next Friday night is going to be Parents' Night at Swain County Memorial Stadium and Boyce Dietz Field, as all the parents of our Maroon Devil players and cheerleaders will be recognized, and that's always a special night, Toby, for everybody concerned.
It is. It certainly is a good night for everybody to recognize those parents and sacrifices they make. And next week against Rosamond's also Halloween. What kind of costume are you planning on bringing out?
I'm going to dress up as Joe Holt. Back to throw. Moore in traffic. It's intercepted again. Down the right side. Bringing it back is going to be Austin Padilla. Padilla down the sideline, and he is in the end zone. Touchdown. Maroon Devils. Was that Padilla or Spencer McCoy?
Padilla.
It is Padilla. So what a pick 6. That's our 3rd one tonight. 2 of them count. Jordan Cody's got messed up by a penalty, but again, the defense setting the tone, and the Maroon Devils with a 27-0 lead at almost halftime. So our 2nd pick 6 tonight. Again, this one will stay on the scoreboard.
And it should have been our 3rd.
Yes, exactly. Jordan Cody had one. He brought it back, but got wiped off the board by a penalty. And now the point after perfect tonight is Cooper Reiner. And we go to a timeout with the score. Swain High 28, Andrews 0. It's a defensive kind of night at Andrews. We'll be back on the Maroon Devils Network. Well, Cooper Reiner's been a pretty busy guy, kicking off again for the Maroon Devils as he sets it up at the 40-yard line, aims it toward the right side of the field. It's going to be hitting the ground, picked up at the 25, out to the 30, a nice seam, out across the 35 to the 39-yard line. On the return for the Wildcats, and on the tackle is going to be Corbin Wildcat.
Wildcat ball on the 40-yard line.
So also down there for the Maroon Devils is going to be 37, Jeremiah Hampton on the stop. But unusual half. The Maroon Devils have had 3 interceptions that have been brought back for touchdowns. 2 of them counted. One, as we mentioned, negated by a penalty, but 1 offensive touchdown and 1 punt return for a touchdown. Kind of a crazy night, but hey, the points still count. Oh, Kanan Sellers and Taylor Oris lock arms, and that means bad news for Dylan Ward, and he is just hammered into the turf. He
may be asking the coaching staff to run a different play.
That's not a good way to go, is it, Toby?
No, once the Maroon Devil defense has figured out this little cross buck read play, it's not been very effective at all for the Wildcats. Now Andrews has got 45 yards on the ground, most of that coming early in this game.
Right, they haven't moved it at all lately. They had a couple of first downs, I think, on their second possession. But the last few possessions have been basically no first downs. Handoff right side again, and this time they get into the secondary after the 44-yard line. As coming up on the tackle is going to be Ross Ensley, the junior linebacker.
Ross Ensley.
And just as we say that, Gary, a 7-yard gain on that play.
And the clock's still running, though, Toby. That might be the final play before halftime. They're making no effort to stop it so far. 11 seconds, 10 seconds. They're not going to run another play. And that's all we're going to see before halftime as the Maroon Devils will go into the locker room here from Andrews High School with a commanding 28-0 lead over the Andrews Wildcats. Fans, stay with us. We have a lot more coming up here tonight. We hope you'll stay with us all night long as we're live here on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back. Getting ready for the second half here from Andrews High School. Maroon Devils up 28-0. We'll take a look at the stats here in just a moment with Toby Burrell, and they are very almost comical with a 28-0 score. On the return, Andrews will bring it back from the 13, back out to the 20, out to the 25. Not a bad return, and that's where he's going to be knocked down on the play right there. And we'll get back on defense after the tackle by Ross Ensley. But Toby, the halftime stats really don't give credence to the halftime score of 28-0 because most of our stats were defensive.
Yep. Yeah, it was pretty ugly, to be honest with you. It's 47 yards rushing for the Maroon Devils on the night, 52 for the Wildcats passing-wise. The Maroon Devils with 118 yards total offense. Andrews was 78, but on the flip side, the Maroon Devils with 116 yards of interception returns.
Wow, that's an interesting stat. 116 yards on interception returns, and that's the story of the game here tonight. Andrews with the football. They run to the left side, but no, they fake to the left side and run to the right side out to the 24-yard line. Nice fake on the play as Jacob Moore, the quarterback. He keeps it all the way after a nice fake, but he's knocked down by, over there, looks like 17. And that is Trey Bradley coming up to help out on defense.
And don't look now, but the cheerleaders are throwing at us.
Hey.
So be ready to be like on baseball because you may catch a football coming in the window. I'm pretty sure one of them tried to cold clock us because it hit right in front and scared me.
I started to say they must not have liked our commentary. But anyway, they're throwing out some red footballs into the crowd here. Pass downfield is going to be caught at the 40-yard line. Nice catch right in front of Angel Bowers. On the catch is going to be Jordan Rogers. And that's going to be a first down for the Wildcats at the 40-yard line. So again, Toby, they haven't run for a lot of yards here tonight, but Andrews has shown they can throw the football a little bit. And boy, talking about throwing footballs, they're really getting close to getting one in the press box.
Be on the lookout, guys.
I mean, there's been 3 come up. We could almost stuck our hand out and grab.
I hope those girls don't play softball because they're throwing BBs up here.
Here comes Andrews again, another first down. Out into Maroon Devil territory at the 48-yard line this time. It's going to be Douglas Ball, number 2. One of their best running backs, 86 carries, 415 yards on the season. And again, it's going to be 2 consecutive first downs, and they haven't had many first downs basically here tonight, Toby.
No, they haven't. 6 on the night, just racked up 2 right there on the pass completion for 15 and the run for 11.
So now the Maroon Devils trying to buckle down on defense, 4-man front. And up to the right side, getting outside a little bit, all the way inside the 40-yard line. Again, it's going to be Douglas Ball, and it's going to be Kanan Sellers and Kobe Toinita downfield on the tackle, and that's close to another 3rd consecutive first down. It is a first down for Andrews, 3 in a row, and I think that's the first time tonight they've had that, especially on consecutive plays.
Well, they're moving the ball really well in this opening drive to open the second half.
So some adjustments at halftime, and they have run the ball effectively. Out to the left side this time. 2 wide to the left side. Everybody else in tight. Again, the Maroon Devils with the 4-man front, handing off to the left side this time. Down to the 35-yard line for another 4-yard gain. Derek Fortner on the defense, also helping him out. It's going to be Johnny Woodard. But not before the Wildcats get 4 yards. It's going to bring up second down at about 6 from the 35 of Swain High territory. So the Wildcats starting to make some noise here. 9:45 to play in the third quarter. Wildcats again, 2 wide. Strong side to the right side this time, and they're going to run to the other side. Oh, the running back actually fell down. Well, luckily for him, because he was going to get drilled right in the chest by Taylor Orris if he hadn't fell down, so probably a good idea.
I don't think he slipped. I think he went down.
Yes.
To keep from getting hit, because that was going to be ugly.
Yeah, you're right. Taylor Orris was going to nail him right between the numbers, and Grayson Parker said, this ain't good. And he lost almost a yard. We'll call it third down, and almost 7 to go now for Andrews. And off right side, here comes number 2 as he gets about 3 yards. Douglas Ball. He's spun around again. Bunch of Maroon Devils on the tackle this time. Kanan Sellers over there. Also Cameron Chambers, Taylor Orris.
I think that was mostly Orris as he stuck his head in there on Ball. Big hit.
You know, Taylor really has a good nose for the football, Toby, as we saw last year. I know he's been playing hurt a lot this year, but he really gets to the football. And Taylor is good size, 6'1", 205-pound senior. On his right bicep heavily bandaged, as does Spencer McCoy, who's actually not in the lineup at the moment for the Maroon Devils on defense. Quarterback option left side, and the option is nothing. Austin Padilla and Derek Fortner, 32 and 34, stopped him in his tracks, and it's going to be Maroon Devil football. So Derek Fortner playing some on defense tonight. Normally we don't see a lot of play from Derek on defense, but he has played well, and Austin Padilla also has had a huge night here tonight. Had a pick 6 for a touchdown earlier. As you know, Angel Bowers, in case you're just tuning in, had a pick 6. Austin Padilla had a pick 6. Jordan Cody had one, but it was called back, and it's going to be Trent Wright at quarterback out to the 39-yard line. Out on the tackle is going to be, looks like Bateman and company for the Andrews Wildcats. Bateman, a long-time Andrews local name, if you will. At the 39-yard line. Second down. We need about 6 to go. 2 wides out to the right side. And double backs in the backfield behind Trent Wright. And the first man through gets the call, and that's going to be Taylor Orris, looks like, near the 45-yard line. Let's see where they're going to spot it as they all untangle. Taylor is close, but a little short of the first down. A yard shy at the 44-yard line is where they spot it. So third down and a yard. Clock running with, I think that clock says 7:15 to play. The lights on the top of the 7 not lining up real well. Tight end flips over to the right side now. Third down and short. Trent Wright is going to run it. Almost tackled in the backfield, but second effort got the first down for him out to the 48-yard line. He broke the tackle in the backfield of Connor Earwood, and that would have stopped him for a loss, but a good job by Trent Wright running to the left side. Trent Wright, a junior, 5'11", 165-pounder. He and Kobe Stevenson, the sophomore, trading quarterback duties here tonight. This time Christian Norton wide with Kobe Toinita. Andrews showing blitz. Now their linebacker is back off. And here comes the handoff. Just over the A gap. Out to the 48-yard line is Taylor Orris again. Taylor hasn't carried a whole lot tonight. Of course, we've alternated running backs. Taylor's carried some. Derek Fortner's carried some. Chris Miller has carried some.
Be Taylor's third carry of the night, 15 yards on 3 carries. Chris Miller doing the yeoman's work with 6 carries is the most by any Maroon Devil.
So now we'll call it second down. Misdirection handoff, right side, big hole. Here comes Miller into the secondary, breaking the tackle, 35-30, 25-20. Has some room, Kobe blocking for him. He's going to score all the way in. That's a 49-yard touchdown run by Mr. Chris Miller. And again, Kobe Toinita, as you mentioned earlier, Toby, he's out there blocking for him all the way down the sideline. And Miller, once he broke it to about the 25, didn't have much in the way except green grass.
Yeah, that was a good run by Chris, getting out in the open. A good trap by the Maroon Devils that time, going misdirection.
So a great run of, again, about 48, 49 yards with 6:12 to play in the third quarter. On for the extra point after touchdown. It's going to be up, and again, good by Cooper Reiner and the Maroon Devils with a 35-0 lead over the Andrews Wildcats. Fans, stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment here on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back. It's been a night of big plays. That one going 48 yards by Chris Miller from the line of scrimmage on the run out of the backfield. Now Cooper Reiner, a star soccer player, boots this one down the left side. Going to be picked up at the 14-yard line. Parker at the 20, and he's going to be knocked down at the 21-yard line. But talking about the versatility of Cooper Reiner, outstanding soccer player. I understand he had a couple of goals in our big soccer win as we won 5-0 over Hayesville to close out the regular season. And the Maroon Devil soccer team finishing the season at 7-7 and in second place in the Smoky Mountain Conference. Now state soccer playoff pairings are going to be released on Monday. You can go to the NCHSAA.org website and check under playoff pairings link to find who, when, and where the Maroon Devils will open up the playoffs. And Thursday, again, the Maroon Devils winning 5-0 over Hayesville to close out the regular season. Cooper Reiner had some goals in that game. Here come the Andrews Wildcats. They ran effectively last time, and then we stopped them, and here they come out running again. And again, Toby, you know, I look at this team, and they're 1-7 on the season, 0-3 in the conference, and I wonder why, because Andrews is, it looks like they're much improved over last year, but they're just right on the edge of becoming a pretty good football team.
Well, what it is they're a couple of mistakes away from being a real good football team, and it seems to happen to them every game. It seems to be the problem. That's a good play by Derek Fortner right there, blitzing through.
Well, he stuck the Andrews running back in the backfield for a loss. And again, that's going to be Taylor Parker. He had nowhere to go. But Andrews, again, I kind of feel for him because I know they want to be a force in the Smoky Mountain Conference. They have size. They had some good quickness. They have some good skill people. But
well, the word we had was they had 3 or 4 possessions in the red zone against Robbinsville, and turnovers eliminated all of those from being scoring opportunities for them.
Wow.
But we're able to move the ball effectively against the Knights.
And that's a pretty good football team, too. Quarterback throwing on the run, and the ball is on the ground. That's got to be called incomplete out across the 40-yard line. Trying to pull it up off the grass out there. It's going to be Jordan Rogers, but the official right on top of the play, and that one's incomplete now with 4:46 to play in the third quarter, and the Maroon Devils 35-0 leaders tonight.
Well, and here we go again. Special teams has been a problem for the Wildcats and a big part of the Maroon Devils offense. Jordan Cody is set deep at about the 50, and the Wildcats are going to spend a time out here to talk about it.
Yes, they don't want to make the mistake by punting to Jordan that they did earlier in the ball game when Jordan brought one back all the way on the punt return for a touchdown. Stay with us. We'll be right back here on the Maroon Devils Network. Back after the timeout, back to punt is going to be Stuart Close with his bright orange shoes. You can't miss those. He's going to punt it down the right sideline, and it's going to be going out of bounds. And wisely, I don't think we're going to see them punt to Jordan Cody anymore tonight. He brought one back earlier, 59 yards for a punt return for a touchdown. We've had 2 pick sixes by the defense. One of those, of course, by Angel Bowers, another by Austin Padilla. Those counted. We had one by Jordan Cody brought back, but it didn't count. But, Toby, it's been a crazy night here. But, again, if something else doesn't work, you get your touchdowns any way you can.
Right now we have 4 less yards rushing than we do with interception returns.
On the first carry, it's going to be Derek Fortner out across the 45. Picks up about 3, almost 4. They're going to spot it at about almost the 49. Right about halfway between the 48 and 49-yard lines. It's going to bring up a second down and still about 7 to go. Wide left again, this time for the Maroon Devils is going to be Christian Norton and Kobe Toynita. Tight end strong right now, and Trent Wright hands off, and here comes Fortner again, and he's got the first down. Inside the Wildcat 45-yard line, being tackled down there by Connor Earwood on the tackle for the Wildcats. Remember, next Friday night it's going to be Parents' Night at Swain County High School, as the parents of the players and cheerleaders will be out there. And Toby, you know, as a parent of an athlete, and as I know a long time ago, it's a special night for parents and the players as well.
Well, it is. It's a great opportunity to say thank you for the parents who have shuttled countless times to and from practice, games, whatever the case may be.
Taylor Uros with a big run around the left side. That might be, other than the big touchdown run of 48 yards by Chris Miller, that's probably our longest run from scrimmage tonight. So Taylor running for some good yardage down to the 27-yard line. First down.
27-yard
so Taylor Uros.
16-yard gain on that one for Taylor, his longest run of the night.
Yeah, and he's starting to get warmed up, as now he's going to be to the right side of quarterback Trent Wright. Derek Fortner on the left side. Fortner gets the handoff, runs to the right side.
Number 34
makes contact, but again, one thing about Derek, when he is hit, it's like he keeps driving forward for another yard before he hits the ground. Good momentum by Derek Fortner now. 3:10 left to play in the third quarter, and the Devils on top 35-0. Again here at Andrews tonight. Next Friday at home with Rosman. 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to be down the road at Murphy. Taylor Uros, he runs into trouble in the backfield this time. Coming on to hit him, Derek Bateman and company, and that's going to rack us up a loss.
Also number 8, Grayson Parker.
So we come back over to Cherokee County again in 2 weeks.
Taylor Uros on the play.
And then after that, the first round of the state playoffs.
26-yard line.
And Toby, I'm assuming again we're going to be in 1AA in the category again this year.
Yep, that's not going to change.
Nope. Murphy and Robbinsville will be in the smaller 1A. Trent Wright back to throw. Has plenty of time. Looking left side. Got him in. Oh, just so close. Just so close down the left side. That one, for a moment, made you hold your breath, as it looked like Trey Bradley down the left side.
Yeah, Trey on the wheel route right there. Coming around, and it was there. It's just a little bit outside of his stretch. Another pretty well thrown ball by Trent Wright.
It was. Trey, not the tallest of guys at 5'6", 150-pound sophomore. We have a timeout call by the Maroon Devils on the field. 2:17 to play, third quarter, as the Maroon Devils are right now in the driver's seat, 35-0. Back with more on the Maroon Devils Network. After the timeout, the Maroon Devils, we have a 4th down and 9. Trent Wright back to throw, has pressure, rolls away from pressure. Down the left side, he has plenty of room, and he's going to run, looks like, for the first down. Knocked out of bounds over there. Penalty flag, I believe. We might have had a hit out of bounds by Andrews, because Trent was literally knocked into the fence over there, right in front of the Maroon Devil fans, and that's not a good place to do that.
There is a penalty marker on the
No, he went into the fence, but I don't think there's anything malicious by the Wildcats on that play. It's just
a momentum.
Yeah, he was trying to make sure he made the tackle over there, and unfortunately they both, Trent being the main person to hit the sign. And
yeah. And sometimes, as coaches will tell you, sometimes, they don't mind the aggressive momentum kind of penalties, because they're going for the ball. They're going after the ball. I think coaches hate the mental penalties a lot worse. First down and goal after the penalty now. Maroon Devils first and goal at the 8-yard line. Trent Wright lines them up. And, a little misdirection handoff to Fortner, and he is in the end zone. Touchdown. Maroon Devils for a 41-0 lead with 1:59 to play in this third quarter. So, again, a little misdirection handoff. Fake to Taylor Uros. Yeah, I was looking at Taylor to go to the left side, but here comes Derek the other way to the right side, and his good leg movement pounds his way into the end zone for the touchdown. I believe that one's 8 yards unofficially, as Cooper Reinert now is on for the PAT. And holding again is going to be Trey Bradley, the sophomore. Good snap, good hold, and Cooper is perfect for the night. And it's a 42-0 lead with 1:59 to play. Third quarter, Maroon Devils in control with 17 unanswered points here in the third quarter alone. We'll be back in just a minute on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back. We're going to kick it back to the Andrews Wildcats now. And getting a break because he's had a long night is Cooper Reiner. Plus, he's played a soccer game this week. But coming on to kick is going to be Dylan Smith, number 20. Nice kick all the way down to the 10-yard line. Andrews, they kind of faked their return, and it didn't help them much. On the return down there, Taylor Parker is going to be knocked down after a short return. But again, by the way, our Maroon Devils now with, in the third quarter, 14 unanswered points. We led 28-0 at halftime. Get my math corrected here. But it's been a pretty good third quarter for the Maroon Devils, 42-0 after leading 28-0 at halftime.
Now you're going to begin to see some fresh folks in this game to get Taylor Orris and Spencer McCoy and those folks out. So you're already seeing some new linebackers in there. Bam Bam is in at the middle linebacker spot. We'll have to get.
Yeah, I saw a true freshman come in there as well, and he runs to the left side talking about Kenshawn Boehner, a JV, a freshman. Number 10.
3, second and 7 for the
You're right,
Wildcats.
Toby. As I think that's the first time we've seen him come in to varsity game, obviously, and also Brandon Edwards. I'm taking it that's the guy y'all call Bam Bam.
That's him.
He's a pretty sharp guy, member of the National Honor Society, along with Jake Marr and Trent Wright on this Maroon Devil football team. And we like to mention that as well. It's good when you have guys who are excellent in the classroom. Andrew staying on the ground out to the 29-yard line.
Big Cordell Green in on that tackle.
Number 71.
And he's a big one, 6'2", 260-pound senior.
Gain of 1.
14 seniors on the squad, 18 juniors, 9 sophomores, and 23 freshmen moved up from the JVs. And Toby, as you know, it's always a thrill when you can move up from the JVs and play varsity on a Friday night.
Well, it's a good learning experience, even if you're just practicing through the week.
Yeah. Head off left side.
That's another freshman there with Ice.
At the end of the third quarter, Wildcat fans.
61.
Yep. On the tackle is going to be Ice Baby Little John on the tackle, the 5'10" freshman. And that's going to be the end of quarter number 3. And the Maroon Devils cruising right now with a 42-0 lead over the Andrews Wildcats. Fans, stay tuned. The fourth quarter coming up in just a moment on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, looking back to return the punt. It's going to be Trey Bradley for the Maroon Devils after the punt off the foot of Stuart Close. And this one is going to be bounced down the right side. No return as we enter the fourth quarter. And it's going to be interesting to see if the officials have noticed this, Toby. But one of the things the North Carolina High School Athletic Association did, and we can see Carl Junaluska waving his arm, when there's a 42-point lead in the ball game, it's the mercy rule this year. They're supposed to let the clock run except for injuries and called timeouts, which I don't know why you'd have a called timeout with a 42-0 lead, but that is the new mercy rule, kind of like the 10-run rule in softball, if you will. So we'll see if they apply that here in the fourth quarter. But they did implement that rule just this year for football. Derek Thornton, looks like a fake, a run by Derek, but a run to the right side, and a nice one, penalty flag down as Kobe Stevenson carried it out to the 40-yard line.
A marker on the play.
And the clock is still running, even with a penalty flag, and that is supposedly the new rule. It is going to be a holding call against the Maroon Devil offense. That's going to back us up after a nice run by Kobe. Kobe Stevenson coming in on the year, 45 of 65 passing, 649 yards, 3 touchdowns on the season. And now we're going to back up inside the 30 at about the 27, almost 28-yard line. And we'll call it first down at about 15. But talking to Kerry Powell before the game, talking about overlapping seasons, it's starting to happen for the Maroon Devils. And here comes a run to the left side by Andrews. But I think she was telling me, Toby, that I think, basketball practice maybe starts next week. And then volleyball still going, cross country still going, and maybe something else starts next week. But she is a very busy person, obviously. Time of the year when seasons start to overlap. Practices for one starts and playoffs for other teams still in progress. And that's a sign of a good athletic program. 9:30 and counting. Again, the clock running here in the fourth quarter with a new mercy rule. Toss to the left side. We've got the football, and here comes Miller down the sideline again. He may score, but the final guy pushed him out of bounds down here on the sideline, and that's Jacob Moore, the quarterback who plays safety on defense.
That's going to put Miller awfully close to 100 yards after that 31-yard gain. Matter of fact, 114 on 8 carries and a touchdown. So a good night for Chris, a career high for him, and couldn't have really come at a better time for the Maroon Devils.
You're right, Toby, with a 48-yard touchdown run and now a nice run to the 42-yard line against Spencer McCoy. Not 100% tonight. Taylor Oros has run the ball some tonight on offense, but he's not 100%. Oh, we got folks moving everywhere. And boy, our center is not real happy right now. Craig Cutshaw. Willie Parker just kind of ran over him. Offside on Andrews. Now the official going the wrong way. Come on, Jack, go the other way. I mean, he was marking it off against us, and let's go the other way to the 37-yard line. Not sure if his name's Jack, but anyway.
Well, either way, Craig Cutshaw earned those 5 yards as he got rolled up.
Boy, he did. He got knocked back on his keister on that one.
As only an offensive lineman can do on a defensive team jumping off sides.
Right. He got hit right in the chops, but he's back at it, ready to go. Boy, Andrews almost jumping again. Fake to the handoff. Kobe Stevenson carries it, and he's close to the first down at the 32-yard line.
Number 8, Grayson Pucker.
So the Maroon Devils on the ground, moving the ball. 7:45. Again, the clock continuing to run as the Maroon Devils lead 42-0. And this is the first time this year that we have seen the new mercy rule, let the clock run in a high school football game. This time Twins out to the left side, and the Twins are Ben Miller and Trey Bradley. So some new folks on offense. Now we pitch to the right side. It's going to be Derek Fortner. Ducks his head down inside the 25-yard line. Good run by Derek Fortner. Leading the charge out there is going to be Seth Parker, number 84, another freshman. So we have so many new people out there. Like James Butler's in there, Cordell Green's in there. There's some names we've called a lot tonight. But again, we have a lot of folks in there that we haven't been calling, like freshman Seth Parker. So some new folks out there. Of course, JT Langston, one of our junior linemen out there on the right side. Again, Trey out left. Ben out left with him. First down and 10 Maroon Devils, and we've got some offside against the Andrews Wildcats again for the second time on this drive on the defensive line. And Toby, you know, as a coach and even more so as a player, when you're down 42-0, it's so frustrating at this stage of the game to try to keep your focus and your intensity going.
Yeah, it really is.
So you can kind of understand the frustration for the Wildcats tonight. And handoff right side. Good run again.
I think that was Kobe keeping that one.
Yeah, it was Kobe. So our quarterbacks know how to stick that football in one direction and keep it the other direction. Some good play faking, and that, I believe, is going to make it first and goal at the 9-yard line. 5:47 and counting, first down and goal.
First and goal for the Devils inside.
Basically the same formation. Now in the backfield, it's going to be Kenshawn Boehner. And it's going to be Kobe running it himself. Kobe down to about the 2-yard line. Down to about the 2. Almost got it in.
Backup number 54, Connor Earwood.
So we'll call it second down from the hash mark down there.
3-yard line. Second goal for the Devils.
Second and goal from about the, we'll call it the 3. 5:11 and counting. So let's see, we go this time wide to the right side. It's going to be Trey Bradley, and Ben Miller comes out wide left in the backfield. Number 10, Kenshawn Boehner. The quarterback is Kobe Stevenson. And Miller, the other running back, there's another bad snap again, and this time the ball is loose, and I think Andrews might have it. So they keep the Maroon Devils out of the end zone on another problem between the center and the quarterback that we have had all season long, and it just keeps haunting us on offense. And, of course, in this game, it's not going to change a whole lot, but I know it's frustrating for the offense to turn the ball over when you're knocking on the door, getting ready to score. So now 4:25 and counting, 42-0 Maroon Devils, but it's Andrews' ball at the 10-yard line.
And again, that goes back to what we said originally. The red zone stuff was a stress this week. So I know that Coach Blankenship and Coach Morrow will not be particularly pleased with our red zone performance tonight.
Yeah, that's a tough one, Toby, especially on that particular problem we've had. Goes all the way back, in my mind, especially to the Tuscola game. And that was a real frustrating night. Well, Andrews with the ball. Here they come running to the right side. A big hole, but coming up to plug that hole with a flying tackle. That's 37, and that's Jeremiah Hampton in the ball game. A new number tonight. But Toby, you're right. We see a whole new defense out there now. I mean, new folks everywhere. William Paul, a freshman, number 74. Number 62, Tanner Millsaps, a freshman. We're seeing basically a JV defense.
Yeah, it looks like it. There's some older guys in the secondary, a little more experience with Hampton and Norton and Miller.
Milton Woodard out there on the defensive front. But you're right, back there we have Christian Norton, a junior. Also back there again, Ben Miller, a senior. Now some more new folks coming back in. We'll try to check these numbers. Dwight Winchester. The world isn't big enough for two of them. That's all I can say. I saw Big Dwight before the game, and now Dwight Jr., if you will. 5'8", 155-pound freshman. Handoff, or the quarterback runs to the left side, just took the snap directly and runs for a, nice yardage out across the 25-yard line. Again, we're trying to keep up with all our guys. Holden Petty, another freshman in there for the Maroon Devils. Also 58, Cody Danner, a sophomore. Holden Petty is number 85. Also 65 is Jonathan White, a junior. A lot of new folks. Austin Knapp, a junior, number 11 in the secondary. Back there with him, 37, Jeremiah Hampton, the junior we mentioned a moment ago. Ben Miller, a senior, on the other side. This time the Wildcats are going to run to that side. And with a first down out to the 34-yard line with 2 minutes to play, Andrews can move the chains. Now coming in some more folks. 23, Richard Singley, a senior. Also number 30, Brett Bivens, a senior. And we like to give everybody credit because, hey, these guys who don't get to play a lot, they have to practice all week, just like the regular guys. Also coming in is Jalen Catt, a sophomore, number 40. And a linebacker right in the middle, joining Dylan Smith, a sophomore linebacker. And a good tackle up there in the middle this time by Jonathan White, number 65. Also helping out in the middle of that defensive line is 74, William Paul, a freshman. I tell you, Toby, a lot of freshmen in the ball game right now.
Well, it's their first chance to play, Gary, and it's got to be really exciting to be able to get in the ball game and kind of feel like you belong and are part of the team, getting in the game and being able to make some plays, which has been the best part about it, is they've made plays.
Yes. Back to throw down the right side, and it's going to be caught into the secondary down at the 30-yard line. A touchdown saving tackle by Austin Knapp, but a big pass completion down there to Grayson Parker. Talking about their quarterback, he's a pretty good quarterback. Third-year starter Jacob Moore with 30 out of 96 passing, 381 yards, 2 touchdowns, only 1 interception coming in tonight. But boy, this Maroon Devil defense didn't help his interception numbers tonight.
That was a 35-yard gain right there.
This time Blackwell on the carry to the left side, kind of dancing his way into the secondary before he's brought down over there by Ren Gunner, number 53, another freshman. Now under 15 seconds to play. That might be the final play of the ball game, as the clock has been running the entire fourth quarter due to the mercy rule. They're going to line up and try to run one more play, Andrews is. Down to 6, down to 5, down to 4, down to 3. They're going to have to hurry. They get the snap, hand off over the middle, and that's the final play of the night as they try to hurdle the line. And the final tackle made in there looks like by number 55 or 15, Chandler Norton in there. Could have been 55, Dwight Winchester actually helping out on the stop. But that's going to be the final play of the game, folks, as the Maroon Devils win it, going away 42-0. But Toby, as we mentioned, Moore coming in, only one interception on the season, but we pick him off, I know, at least 3 times tonight. All 3 of those were brought back for touchdowns. 2 of them counted, 1 nullified by a penalty. But obviously the Maroon Devil defense really had a special night tonight.
Yeah, I've got 4 of 12 with 3 interceptions. As you said, 3 of those coming back for scores. Maroon Devils finished with 284 yards of total offense. Andrews 187. As we said, the 116 yards and the 3 interception returns major for the Maroon Devil offense tonight to get things going. But the more telling stat is, to me anyway, and not to try to crash the party, but 4 fumbles again. Losing one of those is the lone bad part of tonight, really, for the Maroon Devils. And again, just echoing what Coach Blankenship said, in Aaron Jenkins' pregame interview, the red zone wasn't very kind to the Maroon Devils again tonight either, which I'm sure both of those will continue to be a point of emphasis for the Maroon Devil coaching staff going forward.
You're right, Toby, especially when we had it down at the 3-yard line, with a goal-to-go situation and potential points on the line. That's the last place, obviously, as you mentioned, that you want to turn the ball over. Mm-hmm. So tough red zone tonight. But
a good rushing night for Chris Miller, 114 yards. I'm pretty sure that's his career high. So it just keeps piggybacking for Chris. He's had, I would say, 3 or 4 consecutive weeks now where he's grown. We've seen him grow right before our eyes as a running back and really become the complement back, if you will, to Spencer and Taylor in that backfield.
Yeah, and it adds a new dimension because he's a totally different back than either Spencer or Taylor.
Right, and that's something that we've lacked sort of all year. Taylor and Spencer are essentially – they run the same style.
Right.
They're almost the same back, if you will, and to have both of them back there is a good thing. Both of them are great running backs, but Chris has really added another dimension in being able to run the football with a good speed. He was able to get to the edge tonight on 2 big rushes and really kind of broke things open offensively for the Maroon Devils. And, of course, on the other side of the ball, Angel Bowers with the big interception to start the ball game was huge for the Maroon Devils, and a great interception and punt return by Jordan Cody, who just continues to find ways to add his stamp on this football team in this season.
He's quite a playmaker, and I can see why people don't want the ball in his hands, but they made the mistake of putting a line drive right to him that he brought back for 59 yards, I believe it was, on a touchdown, and he is an exciting player. And next up, Toby, it's parent night next Friday night as Rosman is going to be coming to town, and that's going to be our final home game of the regular season, and we hope a lot of folks will come out to honor the players and maybe even more importantly honor the parents who give so much to make this athletic program what it is.
Well, you're right, and the trick of this that everybody needs to realize is Rosman's an improved football team.
Yeah,
they're pretty good, and them and Cherokee are going at it tonight, and what'll be a big game in terms of getting to that 4th win and being able to state a case for being in the playoffs and so forth and so on. So it's a big game, and Rosman coming to town, it'll be a good football game. Offensively, I'm sure that our coaching staff would like to fine-tune some things and get ready, but it's not a tune-up contest for Murphy by any stretch. It's going to be a good football game.
Oh, no question about it. So Rosman next week, then back on the road over to Cherokee County 2 weeks from tonight as we come over to take on the Murphy Bulldogs. Fans, don't forget now, tomorrow a cross-country team will run over at Swannanoa at Asheville Christian Academy at 11 a.m. in the Western Regional Championships. Our Lady Devil volleyball team going to be playing at 5 o'clock tomorrow down at Lincoln Charter. 3 hours and about 20 minutes or so from Bryson City, and we want to wish all those athletes the very, very best on the road in playoff activity. And join us again next Friday night when we'll come back with more Maroon Devil football, thanks to Toby Burrell and Joe Holt and all the gang here from the Maroon Devils Network.